students in Detroit Public Schools, and I looked a lot into Sufism because I'm also an Indian classical dancer. So a lot of the Sufist philosophies are in what we do as well. So I'm so excited that you're here. You can't imagine. Oh,
Me as well.
thank you. It's a blessing to have you. Thank you so much for joining us from Byron. And good morning, Detroit. Welcome to your home at WJZZ Cool TV. We're streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. Please feel free to like us, follow us, share us, give us your comments, and please feel free to subscribe to this station. Today, we are interviewing this most esteemed artist, Abbas Youssef. Sorry. And your host, Habibi Sheikh, will be here shortly. So I have the extreme honor of introducing Mr. Abbas Youssef and his work. So, born in 1960, Abbas Youssef is a Bairani artist and writer based in Bahrain. He received his bachelor's degree in Arabic literature from Qatar University in 1982. His work is influenced by his interest in literature, poetry, and Sufi texts. And please, listeners, as you're following, please feel free to Google his work. It is absolutely amazing. The colors are vibrant. Some of them are cold but yet warm. Some of them are warm with touches of white. It is just exuberant for the eyes. So please feel free to look at his art as we go through the show. That is a text for the eyes. So, in Abbas Yusuf's paintings reside an interaction of thinking, vision, and application through the rhythmic composition of the vague and the abstract. He explores areas as wide as painting, calligraphy, printmaking, bookmaking, and collage making. Abbas has exhibited consistently for over 2 decades, both nationally and internationally. Notably, acquisitions of his paintings include King Abdulaziz, Al Salam, oh, and I'm sorry, King Abdulaziz Center for World Culture in Saudi Arabia, Al Salam Bank in Bahrain, Central Michigan University, and several institutions, so many that it wouldn't even be a sentence. So Yusuf is also an art writer with various editorial contributions to magazines and reviews up to the present day. His books include To the Sea by a Butterfly's Wing, With the Color of Fire with a Spray of Metal, Shadow Within the Shade, In the Presence of the Metal and the Pen, Conversations with Abbas Youssef, and Capturing the Moment at its Reverie. And it's just amazing to have a visual artist who is as astounding in literary form as he is um, in in what he subscribes to in his paintings and so forth. So, without further ado, this is Mediterranean Fire. Welcome to WJZZ Cool Jazz Station. And so, I guess one of my first questions might be a little more everyday. What was your childhood like? What was it about your childhood that led you to the path you have come to and brought us to today?
كيف كانت طفولتك وما هو الذي أدى بك بأخذ هذا الطريق الذي وصلت به إلى اليوم؟
أولا مساء الخير.
First of all,
عم
good evening.
عم تسمعني مني؟
نعم أسمعك.
أوكي. طفولتي بدأت يعني كأي طفل بالحارات. كان البحر قريب من بيتنا وكنا نلهو بين البساتين وبين البحر، لذلك تكونت علاقة جميلة مع البحر. لكن البحر مع التقدم العمراني في بلادنا ابتعد كثيرا ولم تبقى إلا الذكريات، كما بقت ذكريات البساتين أيضا.
My childhood started like any other child between the sea and between the gardens. My relationship with the sea was beautiful, but that's how I ended up here. But with the development and the development and the new architects and the buildings, things are different.
And what kind of schooling did you have to lead you to the university at Cape Town to major in literature?
فما هي التعليم خطوات التعليم الذي أخذتها لحتى أخذت المرحلة الدراسية هذا؟
أم أم في أي حقل، يعني in which field، في العربي، من Arabic literature، أو في الارت، أو في الفنون.
In which field, art or Arabic literature?
Arabic literature. I'm wondering why you decided to explore Arabic literature for your degree and not fine art itself. Did you have to make a choice, or is that what you always decided to do?
الأدب العربي. أنا بدي أعرف لماذا أخذت هذا الطريق عوضا عن استمرارك بالفنون. هل هذا كان دائما طموحك؟
لا، والطموح كان الفنون بالدرجة الأولى من كنت في المرحلة الثانوية. لكن ظروف العائلة كان مفترض أدرس في باريس فنون، لكن ظروف العائلة الاقتصادية تحتم علي أن أنا أروح يعني أدرس في جامعة قطر، لأنه عنده ميول في اللغة العربية. استقيت هذا الميل من أمي التي تحب اللغة العربية، فتخصصت في اللغة العربية، تركت الرسم أيضا واتجهت في هذا الفيلد نفسه خط العربي.
My dream and my aim was towards art, but because our financial situation in my family, I had to study in Paris, and as well my mother was into Arabic literature, so I followed her step and I studied at the Qatar University.
Thank you. Good morning. You are on Mediterranean Fire with your hostess, Biba Sheikh, and me, your co-host,
Yeah.
Samiter Corrado. You look beautiful today.
Thank you,
Oh, you
Cynthia.
look so beautiful.
You
I'm
look
so glad we're
beautiful.
all here together.
Hello,
مرحبا.
everyone. Marhaba. Hello. Hi. Nice to
أهلا.
meet you.
Nice to meet you too, Smiba.
I hope we can. I hope we can get this conversation going in a very pleasant way. We don't have to get caught in the typical interview, formats. Let's try to find something very pleasurable and new, in this meeting that we're having today.
And just for a moment, I'd like to put the translator on the spot. Will you please introduce yourself to our audience and how you came to us this morning? It's a blessing
Yes,
to have you.
sure. My name is Saud Al Khatib, and I am from Metro Language Services, a language providing agencies is located in Dearborn, Michigan. And Miss Biba reached out to us yesterday, and we're glad to be here to assist you guys.
Yeah, I loved your voice on the phone. That's why I wanted you to do it. So,
It's very kind of you. Thank you.
So I was just asking Mr. Abbas Youssef about his childhood and why he decided to go into literature.
uh-huh.
And now perhaps we can get to the meat of things.
Yeah, and before we do that, I just want to confirm, Sunanda, um, this image on the screen, is it this camera or that camera?
Oh, I don't even know.
Okay, wait, no problem. Okay, so yes, I was more fascinated with the fact that Abbas Youssef uses words and poetry, but then he goes beyond it and he makes these words into images. So usually there's in every culture is either more dominant in the image or more dominant in the word. And usually you don't have this kind of balance between the two. It's almost like a sense. You can't. And so, what I really love is this contradiction about when the word, as opposed to the image, but the word itself becomes an image.
Mm.
And then, even one step further, which is to me, it's a fun kind of anarchy, is when the word that becomes the image actually has no meaning. It
Yeah.
becomes total gibberish. So I think that just gives such a lightness and lucidity. It sharpens the mind. It opens the senses. It's something so human and so beautiful.
And it's transcendent because there are several religions, for instance, that do believe in God, several gods or no God, like Buddhism, for instance.
Hmm.
But for all of them, word is God. Word is the seed of consciousness.
Uh-huh.
So even though we think we see with our vision, we
Hmm.
see with the words.
I know that in ancient Egyptian philosophy, the creation of the world was that. Um, there was the insect called the Khepera, who is the source of creation, that was born from water, and that everything is born from water. But the this insect could not spring from the water until it could um, say that it wanted to be born. And I think, and I'm sorry, I hope I'm not talking too much.
No.
Um, I think in a way, it's, I imagined that we are even here born like Kepera, because something about us imagined and thought this form. And that's how we were born. I know it's difficult to
Mm.
explain.
What I like about his work is the text is also kind of textile, that there's a texture to what you're seeing.
Mhm,
And that floaty essence is so amazing that you brought up water,
mhm,
because I would like to ask Mr. Abbas Youssef how that idea of water, as he was talking about, he loved the sea in his childhood, how
mhm.
that kind of helped give these words a transcendent floaty quality.
أنا حابب أعرف منك أستاذ إنه كيف كان ارتباطك مع المياه. كيف كان ارتباطك وتواصلك مع المياه وصلك إلى هنا؟
البحرين اسمها غريب. هي في البعض تعريفها ان هي بحر زائد، فبحر حلو سويت سي، والبحر الثاني هو السولت سي، البحر المالح. هو بالفعل في وسط البحر كان في عيون. تتصور استاذ كيف انه بيطلع مي عذب وحلو من وسط البحر، لذلك سميت البحرين. فاحنا في بحر حلو وبحر مالح، ارتبطنا. وكأنما تقول الميثولوجيا انه احنا خلقنا من الماء. وحتى في القرآن الكريم وشو بتقول الآية؟ بما معناه خلق وخلقنا من الماء وخلقنا من الماء كل شيء حي. كأنما الحياة هذه البشر والشجر وكل ما على هذه الأرض جاء بسبب الماء. فأعتقد أنه وكأن الحروف يعني الألوان التكستشر كله اشتغل عليه أنا هذا، وكأن ما يتدفق في حياتي من روحي من جوا إلى الورق أو إلى الكانفاس نفسه.
The name of Bahrain is a very strange name. It have been named based on two parts of the sea, one which have fresh water and one which have salt water. So have a very strange name, and everything comes from water, and the creation comes from water. Even in the Holy Quran, it states that we created everything from water. we created everything from water. So that's how I feel things are pulsing out of my heart and my soul, and I put it on paper with words, or I draw it on texture.
Wow. Thank you for your beautiful translation too. I
Yeah.
do grasp the poetry and what he's saying, so I'm so thankful for that.
My pleasure, Ms. Biba.
And it seems that Abbas Youssef, and please, audience, please Google his artwork. Unbelievable Feast on the Eyes, Abbas space Yousif. Please browse through his work. It's a tremendous experience.
Mhm.
Um, he's talking about sweet and salt waters, Byron. He was talking about living between gardens and the sea. How does a Sufist philosophy collapse these false binaries that the real world puts upon our consciousness?
أنت تحدثت عن الماء العذب والماء المالح، وتحدثت عن تربيتك بين البحار والبساتين. كيف كيف هذا يرتبط أو يشترك مع العقيدة الصوفية؟
قرأت كثير، ما زلت معجب بالمتصوفة، معجب بالشعر بصورة أساسية، ولحد الآن أشتغل يعني كل لوحاتي أعمالي دائما مستقاة من الشعر، والصوفية جزء منها، وخصوصا لما نشتغل لابن عربي أو جلال الدين الرومي أو النفري، اللي وعيت عليه على قراءتهم باكرا، وأنا في سنتي الأولى في الجامعة لما كان عمري 18 سنة. فأتصور إنه لما أعمل في اللاوعي كل هذه الباك جراوند، كل القراءات السابقة تنصب داخل العمل الفني بدون أن نشعر، يبقى مثل هي التربية اللي استقيناها من طفولتنا.
I have read a lot about Sufi poetry, and even now, all my artwork is inspired by Sufism. It, I read a lot my first year of college to Ibn al-Arabi and Jalaluddin Rumi. It was my first year of college when I was 18 years old, and I think now subconsciously I mix it with my artwork nowadays.
Thank you so much. I'm going to do the station ID for us. You are watching WJZZ Cool TV, the coolest station in the world. I'm your host, Biba, and my co-host is Dr. Sunanda Corrado. And we're so happy to be with you today with Yusuf Abbas, the calligraphy artist and writer who merges these two fields together to create his own style and an extremely eclectic images of calligraphy that have pretty um, ceremonial meanings that are very poetic, and with Saud Al Khatib, our translator for Mr. Yusuf from Metro Translation Services in Detroit. Thank you so much for being with us today. You can catch us live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, and please, we received your comments last time on our live stream, which was the first time we were together. And we appreciated them so much. And we're going to definitely be trying to, analyze and maneuver everything in the direction that your feedback wants and tells us to do. So please comment and share and like, and we will continue the interview, which Sunanda's doing so nicely.
And if you'd like to advocate for artists, we are Metro Detroit. Please contact the DIA. Please contact your local museums. It is a treat to have these artists here. If you like programs like this, please feel free to sponsor or advertise on our show. You can email us at wjzzcooltv@gmail.com. Help us support artists around the world to keep our American imagination elastic. Blessings.
Sunanda, I was speaking with you a couple of days ago about Sufism, and you were telling me about the ancient notions of love, and I was hoping you could touch upon that today.
Oh, wow. Yes. Well, what I was thinking about all of his paintings and even the titles of his paintings is that they're a calling to love, to not seek love, but to experience love because it's already there. And the sense that creation is already perfect is so different than our own culture in America, which presides on this deficit model of trying to fix things and arrange people and their ideas and thoughts. And yet the paintings and the visuals allow us to look at the word, but to meditate on it as opposed to the word mediating our own being. And so I was wondering, because Sufism is really, in my dissertation, actually, I wrote a lot about it, because there is an amazing evolution of the human being from child to adult, right? As a child, you love your parent because they give you everything. As you grow older, you love your friend because you're boisterous, you see the world, you feel independent. Then you fall for that puppy love, and that's kind of where American ideas and ideals of love stop. This passionate love that destroys you. But then in Sufism, we talk about taming this love and taming this love into this sense of compassion, right? So the ultimate love is the love of sacrifice, which makes us all closer to what is holy, the brotherhood, if I may say so, that we all share. And so, with all this literature that has been infused into your visual art, right? And I want to know what makes you think about colors, because your use of colors is so different. You have such an extreme palette, and every piece has your signature, but every piece is so different. I'm just wondering how you come up with this diversity in this way that you convey this love in all these colors.
مفهوم الحب هو مفهوم معقد يبتدئ من حب الطفل لوالديه عندما يكون صغير، لأنه يأتي العطاء منهم. بعدها ينتقل إلى حب الصديق وإلى كذلك. فهذا مفهوم الحب يتغير هنا في أمريكا. فأنا إضافة إلى كل ما قال، أنا حابب أعرف كيف تمزج هذه الألوان بطريقة مميزة جدا داخل الفن الذي تقدمه.
أمزج الألوان بالحب التي هي سألت عنه، لأنه أعتقد بدون الحب الحقيقي إلى كل شيء ما حوالينا، وبالتحديد حب الإنسان، هو الدافع الأساسي إلى الإبداع. أنا عندما أشعر أنه أنا متضايق لا أستطيع أن أعمل، لذلك لا أقبل على العمل إلا بالحب. ألواني أكيد كثير من الناس يسألني ليش هي يعني لماذا هي متميزة لهذه الدرجة، وتغلب عليها دائما الألوان الحارة، الأحمر، الأصفر، البرتقالي، وحتى لما أعمل الكولاجات، لأن أنا أعيش في منطقة الشرق الأوسط، منطقة الخليج العربي بالتحديد، والشمس دائما ساطعة. يعني أنا الآن الاستوديو مفترض الشمس تدخله، لكن شوي تحركت. فهذه أعتقد أنه هذه الإضاءة هي التي تحرضني دائما على الذهاب إلى هذا النوع من الألوان. هذه الألوان باعتقادي المتواضع جدا هي ألوان الحب، ألوان الحياة، بغض النظر عن التسميات العلمية أو الفلسفية لها، باعتبار أنه الأحمر لون النار والأصفر وإلى آخره. لا، هي أنا بتقديري بالعكس، هي ألوان فرح وألوان احتفاء بالحياة بالدرجة الأولى. لذلك أنا كثير ما كتبت إنه أو ما تعاملت مع نصوص مثل محمود درويش على هذه الأرض ما يستحق الحياة، هي بالفعل هذا ما أبحث عنه. طبعا جانب آخر، أشتغل بين الفترة والأخرى على ألوان مغايرة لربما فيها تعتمد على الأسود والأبيض والرمادي، مثل ما عملت بعض الأعمال اللي استقيتها وكنت فرح فيها جدا من أعمال الصديقة بيبا. حولت النصوص ترجمتها ابنتي، وأنا بعد ذلك اشتغلت، لكن اشتغلت بنفس آخر تماما، وكأنما الهجرة التي أثرت عليها نوعا ما أخذتني ل ما هي كانت تشتغل عليه، واندفعت بشكل آخر بالألوان اللي وصلت إليها.
I mix color with love. For example, if I feel bothered, or if I feel bothered, I will not be able. I will not be able to work. So I use love to create my artwork. And where I come from and where I live, it's in the east, and it's sunny. It's sunny and shiny, so I think that's where I got the colors and the mixture of red, yellow, orange. I believe those colors are the colors of life. Even though science and philosophy state otherwise and state that red is the color of fire. So to me, it's not that. To me, it's life. It's happiness. So that's how I mix it. I mix my colors with my art, and even as Miss Biba knows how I worked previously, and I added to my work colors like white, gray, and black, just like just like the poetry that my daughter translated. So to me, it's life and it's love.
These paintings that Abbas Yusuf created for the project we did in the United States, Mitli Mitlak, Like You, Like Me. I gave him several excerpts of text that were within the project, and he selected two bits of poetry, and they were all of them were kind of on the spiritual side. Some of them were written during Reiki sessions. Some of them were like automatic writings, but they were less realistic. And if I remember correctly, the paintings that he did then were the was with this phrase in Arabic. One of them was nothing is true except what comes after death, and he painted this in a repetitive way with the
Mm.
colors blue, gray, red, and black, and he painted it several layers, the same phrase over and over, like you would imagine over and over and over again. He did it visually, so I don't know how many times he painted it over and over again. The other one was in yellow and gray and black, in different shades of gray. And it was I come to bless the soul of light, which is a character in the play Mitli Mitlak, who is kind of this huge persona that's coming to save a kidnapped baby, but he's alone, and I don't know. I'm not going to go into that now. But we are watching WJZZ, Cool TV, the coolest station in the world, with Abbas Yusuf, the calligraphy artist and writer. And translating for us today is Saud Al Khatib from Metro Language Services, doing a great translation. My co-host, Dr. Sunanda Corrado, and she's an anthropologist and a performer. And I'm Biba Sheikh, a performer, activist, and a writer. And we're trying to spark up this meaningful conversation as the heat of the sun makes life possible. Mediterranean fire tries to make life more meaningful through these kind of encounters and connections with you and with special artists and cultural people. So thank you for joining.
And if you can't get enough of us, well, come on over to our backyard boogie. If you love beautiful, amazing jazz from some of the most amazing artists in the city of Detroit. If you love some shady comedy, some dirty comedy, they got that too. If you love good food, the food was excellent this last time. My husband and I had two servants. The Backyard Boogie Sunday from 3 p.m. to 9 p.m. It's a free party, it's a free concert. Get to know the artists that have been ruling over Detroit. They might know you next time. It's an open grill. It's an open bar. I mean, bring your own booze. Sorry, and it's adults only. Don't bring your kids. Just tell their grandkids what happened. Okay. So bring yourself. Bring your chair. Bring your booze. Bring your weed, and bring yourself. And please come to the Backyard Boogie. This is an artist collective in Detroit that is sponsored by WJZZ Cool TV. And now what's interesting is coming back to this idea of fire and what Mr. Yusuf was talking about in terms of how in Western philosophy, they look at red as destruction. Well, I know in Indian culture, when we marry, we wear red. And so we have this transition in Sufis like life, right? From passion, things that are driven by our ego, that need to be known, acknowledged, right? To be powerful, to this next step of compassion. Because what struck me was the idea that you don't like to create when you're feeling disturbed. But in Western culture, that seems to be the only thing we
Exactly.
exploit as a person's tortured self. And we call that as a form of ecstasy. If you look at the biographies of Michelangelo and all that, these are tortured souls. But what we're talking about is a progression of soul to its highest form, and it coming through the hands of artists who have been able to evolve the soul to a pure love, to love of compassion,
So
right? And
I
that
would
is
like
where
to
the heat is.
understand better. I'd like to understand better what you're saying because it's extremely interesting. I just want to get a grasp on it. So when you're referring to Michelangelo and the expression of more of a tortured soul, as opposed to in Eastern cultures, where kind of a collective love is what is the driving force behind an artwork, isn't it kind of don't we have it also? I think in crucial moments, there's always these people that are doing universal art or whatever you want to call it with poetry, and it's timeless. And then you have other people who are saying, "I'm a citizen before being an artist," and the artwork has to be a propaganda for what's happening, here today because the people that's their form of expression and this is what they're living. And so some people think that this universality is like an escape.
Mm,
And yeah,
yeah. Yeah.
is this what you're
Yeah,
kind of
because
getting?
it's so ego driven, it's so passion driven,
Mhm.
right? Versus like my guru who I've been with for over 40 years and I'm
Oh
46, right?
my God.
Um, she comes from a place of love and that all creativity comes from love and love is boundless creativity.
And what's your guru's name?
Her name is Sudha Chandrasekhar. She's another well-known institution in Detroit,
Oh,
HTR, Hindu Temple
okay.
Rhythms. So I've been teaching for her for over 30 years in the temples.
Mhm.
But so in this sense, it's like Mr. Yusuf, it sounds like you feel like a conduit. So I'm wondering, what is your state of mind when you're creating, if it's not ego driven?
فأنا أستاذ يوسف حابة أعرف ما هو وضعك التفكيري عندما تخلق هذه الفن، إذا ما كان له علاقة في الطبيعة؟
لا، عادة قبل ما أبدأ أي مشروع دائما أوضع التخطيطات، السكتشز، دفاتر دائما. يعني أنا لا أغادر الدفاتر، ما تغادرني أبدا. هذا يعني بسبب وضع الكورونا الآن عندنا بالبحرين كبير، يعني الأعداد هائلة والإصابات كثيرة. فأنا دائما بشتغل تخطيطات بالأسود والأبيض وبعدين أحولها إلى كلرز. بس عموما إنه يعني أي مشروع لا أعرف أشتغل مباشرة إلا بعد ما أعمل تخطيطات، وبعد ذلك مثل ما أهجم على العمل نفسه بعد ما وضعت كل التصورات العامة للبروجكت إلى المشروع. طبعا أنا في شغلي كله دائما هو محوري، دائما الإنسان هو القضية الكبرى بالنسبة لي لهذا الكون. إنه دائما يعني تعويلنا في الحياة على بقاء الإنسان في أمان وفي سلام، حتى أعتقد نستطيع أن نبني عالما جميلا. وإلا اللوحة الجميلة بدون علاقة بالجانب الإنساني لا معنى لها.
Usually, before I start any project, I start with sketches. And now, especially in Bahrain, the corona numbers and infection are high. So things are really different. But in general, I usually start my art with sketches, black and white, and then I start adding color to it, and I bring it to life. But in all my work, the big case in all my the big case is in all my arts is the human being or humanity. How is it gonna be? How is it gonna be? Or he's gonna be safe and and live in peace. In general, I think that's the main purpose of my art, and the main subject of any sketch or painting.
And what about the books you've written? Where do they go? What are the subject matters, and what are these books that you've written?
وبالنسبة للكتابة الذي كتبتها، ما موقعها أو أين 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 موجودة في جميع هذا
الكتب،
كتاباتك؟
أنا ألفت كتاباتي. أنا من تقريبا بدأت بالكتابة في مجال الفنون التشكيلية، البلاستيك آرت، سنس 1992. وطبعا اتخذت جانب آخر في السنوات الأخيرة جدا، إنه في كثير من يعني الكتاب اللي بيكتبوا في مجال الفنون التشكيلية دائما بيكتبوا في النقد، في الكريتيك عن الأعمال الفنية وعن الهيستوري، تاريخ الفن. أنا يعني بنصيحة أحد الأصدقاء المسرحيين الروائيين المهمين أشار إلي إنه لا، إنه في مكتبتنا العربية إنه لا توجد هناك كتب مختصة في محاورة الفنانين العرب. فأنا أخذت هذه الفكرة وبدأت أشتغل عليها. كنت أنشر الحوارات مع الفنانين في الصحافة المحلية وفي الصحافة العربية وفي بعض الدوريات المجلات، وبعد ذلك أصدرتها في كتب. فلحد الآن أنا أصدرت 6 كتب طبعا، وأغلبها كلها على حسابي الخاص. السنوات الأخيرة كنت أطبع من الكتاب فقط 200 طبعة نسخة، وأنا أوزعها على حسابي الخاص أيضا. يعني أنا أطبعها على حسابي الخاص وأنا أوزعها إلى أصدقائي، لأن لا توجد بالمكتبات. لأن الكتاب مثل هذه الكتب الناس ما تريد تشتريها بالتحديد، خصوصا يعني للحوارات مع الفنانين العرب. فكل كتاب تقريبا يحتوي على حوار أو لقاء مع 20 إلى 15 فنان عربي، سواء يعني من مصر، من تونس، من المغرب، من قطر، من السعودية، من الجزائر، من اليمن، من كل الدول العربية يعني. وكلهم يعني التقيت فيهم وأعرف تجاربهم. على هالأساس لما تقرأ الكتاب تشعر أنه في غنى يتناول تجاربهم الفنية والحياتية أيضا. تفضل أستاذ.
I started writing the plastic art in 1992, and then I started taking a different direction with my writing. A friend of mine a friend of mine who stated that there is no critic books about the arts in the Arab nations. So I started writing about that, and I started interviewing with artists all around the nations, Arab nations, and I started first with issuing articles in local papers and international papers, and then I uh, started publishing books on my own expense. I printed it out, and I even distributed it from my own expense. I started by giving it out to friends and people I know, because that kind of books you will not find in the library. I started with printing only 200 copies, and after I distributed to friend and people around me, because that kind of writings people do not accept, and you cannot find it at a local library, as I mentioned, and the books. Uh, the books state my meetings with artists from all around the Arab nations, from Egypt to Tunisia to Morocco, Qatar and Saudi Arabia, even Yemen. What was written inside those books is about their life, their art life, and the general experience.
Yes, I've seen the books that Yusuf Abbas has done. They're other kind of books, though. They're books, but they're visual books. They're like pieces of art, but they're books at the same time. So I'm
نعم.
really anxious even to work with him on a project like that. Um, they're so beautiful, and like Sunanda said, the textures of these books are all very different. They're very how do you say artisan, very they're handcrafted books, and each one is one of a kind, and he puts a lot of fine detail into them, and he should hopefully we can put those in the next exhibitions. Sananda, is there anything that you would like to express further related to this conversation.
It's just such an honor to be in this room. I hope that we can use this as a platform to promote this type of humanity and this type of art and this type of transcendence through our own communities. And I'd also like to know how you met him and how you guys started working together. Because remember, this is based on Habiba's play, and she's produced it, right? And yeah, I'd like to know more about the intersection.
Yeah. Abbas is one of I had a group of artists, visual artists already situated for the project Mitli Mitlak, Like You Like Me, which is an exhibition, and it goes together with a theater production. And the whole thing is based on a theater text. And so the painters take certain scenes and acts, and they produce a series of paintings that tell the story visually. And as the theater groups are doing the play and looking at the paintings and trying to create the atmospheres in the paintings. So I was introduced to Yusuf Abbas through the painter Sinan Hussein,
Oh
who we
wow, from
had,
last week.
yeah, on our show before. And he was exactly what I was looking for. I haven't, I love calligraphy, especially,
Mm,
from a young age, being inspired by the artist Brian Geisen, who had a project called Calligraphy of Fire, and it was all about, he was combining Japanese with Arabic. He had studied both languages, and the images were a combination of the two languages, but it ended up being a gibberish, and he ended up in this other realm of art. But I didn't. I was looking at calligraphy because I knew that it's so important on the ancient scale. Looking at the geometrical designs and the way words are used in the holy places on the walls. In huge buildings of worship. And at the same time, I needed to be convinced that it was the right artist for the project. I couldn't just take anyone because it can be very decorative and also very conservative sometimes because
mm.
but with Yusuf Abbas, as soon as I saw his work, I knew that it would fit perfectly. And for all of the scenes, there are a few scenes that are like out of life, like the characters die and their spirits fly to the outer, to out of life, and there are ceremonies that
Mm.
help them do this. So I wanted Yusuf Abbas's work to be the work that transcends their spirit into another realm in a very vibrant and meaningful way, and we're getting there step by step.
And you're listening to WJZZ Cool TV. Welcome home. We're streaming live to you on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. Feel free to like us. Please follow us. Do share us and share your comments with us. And please do subscribe so we have more independent artists being able to bring you more independent artists into your room and into your comfort zone. And don't forget to sponsor or advertise if you're interested in propelling this art movement forward. You can email us at wjzzcooltvofficial@gmail.com. And please, you're invited this Sunday to the Backyard Boogie, 3 p.m. to 9 p.m. It's at 19730 Ralston. It's right around the corner from 7 Mile and Woodward. So there's no excuse. All you need is a sitter. Please come out, no kids, but bring the kid in your heart out with you. All right. And I was wondering, is there anything that Mr. Yusuf would like to share with the audience from his own heart? I know we've been just plying him with questions and stuff, but is there anything that he would like to share with the audience, independent of us?
أستاذ يوسف، أنا بعرف إنه نحن كثرنا عليك الأسئلة، ولكن هل يوجد أي شيء أنت ترغب بأن تشاركه مع الجمهور؟ هل أي شيء أنت ترغب بأن توضحه أو تشاركه مع الجمهور؟
طبعا ولازم أشكركم ثلاثة أنتم، وأشكر الصديقة بيبا أتاحت لي دي الفرصة إنه يعني أتحدث وأعرض القليل من تجربتي، بس بشأن الكتب الأخرى اللي أشارت إليها بيبا. إن شاء الله يعني يجي اليوم ويأتي اليوم ونشتغل عليه، هي الكتب الفنية اليدوية، the artist book.
Yes. Oh, that would be so
واللي فإن شاء الله يعني تخلص يعني على الأقل نتنفس من جديد لما تنتهي الكورونا، وأبدأ أشتغل على التخطيطات الجديدة مع بيبا، ونعمل مشروع جديد لما لا، ويعرض في في الولايات المتحدة إن شاء الله.
First of all, I would like to thank this three of you and my friend Biba, and my friend Biba, regarding the books that you mentioned, the artist book. Hopefully, there will be more of that after we can breathe again, and after the coronavirus is better, and maybe we can have a showing in the United States.
definitely. Yes. Yes, we're working on it, and I think we're gonna be able to get there soon. There are many interested people, and I look forward to also Yusuf to take this interview, which we did, and write another piece about you for the book that we have about the project. So I'll be able, since we have the translator here too, I'll be able to actually write a piece about your work to incorporate into the book. And I would like to thank the audience for being with us today. And we really hope that you enjoyed it and that you have another vision of what's going on in the Eastern Mediterranean and Asia, and we hope you have just a very wonderful, wonderful day, and know that there are people out there who uh, who are with you in a very different way than what we have to endure every day with the icons that oppress us and kind of depress us. We have so much potential, so let's just awaken that potential and be
Mhm.
together in the best possible way. Thank you so much.
يعني
Thank you.
Thank you. Peace and blessings, Detroit.
شكرا شكرا لك عزيزي، وما في أمان
Thank you all.
الله. باي
العفو.
باي.
Translating. Thank you.
Thank you.
My
شكرا.
pleasure.
باي
Thanks.
باي ديبا. We'll keep on touch. Thank you. باي باي.
Okay. Thank you so much.
All right, guys. Do you still
باي.
need me around here?
I think we're good for now,
We'll
but
probably have you back soon.
yeah, we're so happy to meet you. Thank you
Yeah,
so
Thank you.
we're
much.
definitely happy. We offer all languages. We offer 200 and plus languages. So anything you need, just give me a call. We'll be
Metro
happy to assist you.
services, Metro language
And what
services.
is your number and your website?
313 782 3366. And our website is www.metro-language.com.
And does Mr. Yusuf also have a website that our viewers can refer to?
Yeah.
Hel-
Yeah. Yes. www.abbasyusuf.art.com.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
All right,
Okay.
guys. I wish you a beautiful day, and we'll talk soon.
Thank
Bye
you.
bye.
شكرا شكرا. مع السلامة. باي باي. يا من الله.
Bye.
باي.
Ron, bye.
باي.
Thank you. Bye bye.
He's amazing.
Yeah,
He's
beautiful.
amazing. Man, I couldn't stop looking at the image. It's like magic. Is he trying to shut up?
You might have yeah. I think we're still on the air.
I think he's
So
still
we're
on
supposed
there. I
to
think
we're
he's
supposed
still,
to open things
so
up.
yeah. So what institutions do you think might take on your project?
The historical museum. Yeah, they'll do it.
Oh wow.
We've already. I mean, we've had like 5 or 6 exhibitions. So now I'm just contacting different places and getting the project up again. And um, so I have to now each week make those phone calls. I have a new like pitch deck, you could call it,
Yeah.
and a new way of presenting the project, because there's the theater side, there's the exhibition side. And I saw that it was working better if you only talk about the exhibition, and then in the